shit might as well be written in crayon markings, cause they judge me when I rock hoodies like Trayvon Martin. With verbal retaliation, I am dead on target, and the shit that I'm incubating to leave your headphones sparking. I'm somewhere where the guys stay applauding. Can't even stop me on the track with a railroad crossing. Raising hell, rocking crosses like my head's on awkward. Threw my spaceship out the hood, now I'm trying to 106 and park it. Trying to be ET awarded, make MTV adore it, and VH1 explode. Now it ain't too many who can afford it. I report it, they record it, I relive it, they support it. Even when it get distorted, when delivered, they enjoy it. I deploy it, no avoiding. Was born for this, you just appointed. As they flows get more annoying, I'm out here spitting like I'm anointed. I'm at the end of fingers pointing every time I drop a joint. If I ever diss anything, it won't be disappointment.
I'm originally from Southside St. Louis, Missouri. Former hip hop artist. I don't know if I should say former. Just pursuing things on a different level nowadays. Published poet. I guess if I had to really say what most people knew me as or knew me from back home, it would definitely be a rapper, you know. Started pursuing music professionally in 2003, put out an album. I was part of a group called New Era. We put out an album. It was two of us in a group, duo. Album really did well as far as the local community. It didn't really see the success that we were hoping for. We split up shortly after that, and I moved on to do solo projects with music, and I've been putting stuff online. I've been doing it so long, been in the grind so long. I was reaching out to cats in different countries during the MySpace days. I had people in Germany and France producing tracks for me. So it's been a long ride. Definitely a long ride. But it's a ride I'm still behind the wheel on. Been an artist all my life. Been drawing since I was in elementary school. That eventually turned into a love for graphic design and art. As a child, going to city school, I really wasn't allowed the opportunities that would help mold that into something in the schooling system I was in. So eventually, my mom had afforded to get me bussed out to the surrounding county schools, and they had a lot more to offer education-wise. They gave me a broader horizon on what I was dealing with in life. I remember the first time I knew that I had a love for computer animation. I was in school, in middle school, and they had a program where we could I don't recall the name of the program, but they had a program where we could actually go in and recreate cartoons and just draw and paint. Some way, somehow, I figured out how to make the drawings that we were making animation. So at that point, I was already thinking 3-4 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? Not that the program wasn't equipped or able to do it before. I just figured it out quicker than the other kids in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? While they're drawing like basic shapes and things, I'm over here with a whole animation on my screen. But that takes me back to why I say everything became twisted, because that talent, instead of using that talent like, oh man, I can do things other kids can't do, I didn't have nobody paint that picture to me like that. So on my screen, you know what I'm saying, I had a picture of a car. It was actually a 6.4 from back then. They had the hydraulics, the hydraulics made the car bounce up and down. And I had a rival neighborhood's resident underneath the car. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by twisted. I was thinking ahead of other kids. I was able to figure out some things that they weren't able to figure out. So I was probably a step ahead and thinking like that. But the other part of my thinking was what took place once I get to the bell at school. Once the bell rings and you get driven back that hour back into the city, and this is the environment you have to deal with. That's what was really guiding my creativity, which was a problem. And that's how everything became twisted. Genius, being talented, that's what I mean by that. It's twisted genius. My parents were both talented in both writing and music. So that's why I'm blessed with poetic ability and writing ability and a huge vocabulary. I definitely get it to them because they were always articulate in what they taught me and what they delivered to me growing up. I grew up in a single parent household, so it was definitely difficult at times in the environments that we were living in. I'm not going to even say inside the home because my parent, my mother, uh, my grandmother definitely made sure uh, that didn't really affect me or affect my mind state. It was always, outside influence, just trying to survive as a boy in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It was just certain things, you had to adapt to and learn how to deal with that your mother and your grandmother couldn't teach you. It's really everybody. Uh, Genius is synonymous to talent. So any talent that you have is actually a genius, right? A lot of people try to debate that. You can actually Google that and look up the definition. I try to clarify that all the time. But yeah, everybody, anybody that's always been in a situation where they were afraid to show how smart they were. I represent the innovators. I represent the people that think outside the box, the people that aren't afraid to think differently. They don't have to go along with the norm, and they're able to research and develop their own ideas and see life through their own lenses. I represent people that have always been intelligent and afraid to exhibit that because of the surroundings that they were in. That kid in the hood that's very smart, but every day the people that he hang with interested in gang banging and doing things in the hood that don't seem cool to try to talk about being smart with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I represent that kid. I represent the people that are bold with their intelligence, that want people to know that they're intelligent. Them people that spend their time researching, spend their time learning, that are proud to show the knowledge that they have developed. The kids that are in those classrooms that want everybody to know that they can raise their hand and answer every question and be proud of it. I want nobody to feel a certain way about being intelligent. I want people to stop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I hung with a lot of people that were really into what we call the thug life, but just like Tupac described it, I don't think a lot of people to this day understand what he meant by it. When Tupac said thug life, he meant the hate you give little infants, F everybody. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Meaning that an infant is born pure, and if you put hate in his heart, then that's what he's going to in turn use against society. Now, you know what I'm saying? You got kids who it's going to be a 50-50 chance. You know what I'm saying? Like the flip of a coin. Some kids are going to use that to their advantage. Some kids are going to succumb to it. But all of those kids that are the next generation of thinkers, the next generation of innovators, that want to be proud for being smart, be proud of having knowledge. That's what Twiztyd Genius stands for. That's what it represents. And I'm not just talking about from the hood or from conditions like my own. I'm talking about even the kids in the suburbs. You got kids that were born in privileged situations that are afraid to exhibit how smart they are because you got still kids out there that'll pick on them for being smart. I don't ever want that to be something that hinders somebody from getting to their next level. I want being smart to be looked at as the new cool thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get props for being smart in my world. You know what I'm saying? That Twiztyd Genius aspect of it is what my brand is all about. The brand represents next level thinking. At 13, I was writing songs and recording my own music videos with camcorders, uh, and rapping against gang violence at that point in time on my own. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't necessarily, naturally, I wasn't putting these things out. We didn't have Facebook and YouTube and all this type of stuff. But you couldn't go outside and rap these types of songs to your friends that's actually gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? You had to keep these types of things to yourself. So I represent those that were already thinking different, that were already thinking against selling drugs, that were already thinking again, that recognized, you know, that there was an issue with that was something that they didn't need to be doing. Yeah, even in high school, I just thought different. I remember during senior year, I moved and had to switch high schools, and after a couple days of my new history class, I had enough. um, so I'm a new kid in this new school, and I stood up in front of the class and told the teacher that I didn't want to learn anything that wasn't beneficial to my life. So naturally, she told me to leave the classroom. She asked me to come up to the desk, and she gave me a pass uh, to go to the library, and she told me to come back after class. Right? I go back to the classroom, and she actually commends me for standing up against the curriculum that she was being told that she had to teach. And she told me I didn't have to come back to the class. I could have a free hour, and in order to get credit for the class, she's going to give me all my assignments on Black history, right? So she would literally give me movies to watch, give me essays and papers to write based off Black history topics, and the rest of the school year, uh, that's how I got through history class. So, you know what I'm saying? I always thought different. My mom always taught me to stand up, you know, so if I didn't feel something was right, I was always just different. You know what I'm saying? The other kids, they didn't have no problem with that curriculum. I guess that's what makes me a little twisted. If you think logically, outside the box, intelligently, ahead of others, and you want to represent that, then Twiztyd Genius will be what you rocking. We need more doctors, lawyers, scientists, software engineers, astronauts. Get good at one of those and use rap as a hobby. It ain't the same. It's actually easier nowadays to get further ahead in rap, but if you got that backbone, can't nothing else stop you.